YouTube. My name is David and I'm the RX Saver. Many of my patients come to hospitals and even their local doctor to get seen because they're sick, they're injured, but they don't understand what they're paying for. It's kind of sad that the doctors don't tell you what you're paying for. They don't use the terminology with you. They don't explain it. They just say big words and then send you on your merry way. Well, I'm here to explain how the hospital works today. Well, first off, the hospital charges you 3 fees. One for the room, for the doctors, every individual doctor you see, and for the staff. So you're paying just like room and board. You're paying for the room, you're paying for the bed, you're paying for the sheets, you're paying for the IVs. That's what you're paying for. Usually insurance will cover that part. Sounds good so far, right? Then you get the doctor fees. So if you saw one doctor, you got off lucky, very lucky. If you see 2 or more, you're paying for each individual advice or diagnosis they give you. If that first doctor doesn't know what he's doing and he says he needs to give you to another doctor or to a specialist or to anyone else, you're paying for that. Usually out of your pocket. So let's say you broke your foot. You see a general physician at the hospital. They're going to call in a podiatrist. They're going to call in an anesthesiologist. They're going to call in someone just to wrap the foot. And you're paying for all 3. And that's just with basic foot care. Unless there's something like a compound stress fracture or something else. Then you may have even more. Then you're paying for the staff. Obviously, you have to pay for the services of the individuals who are treating you mostly. But that's all general. Usually insurance will cover that. But it's the middle portion, the doctors, that the insurance may not cover. Because each insurance covers a network of doctors. So if that doctor is not in your network, you just got out of luck because you're paying for it. You only get a $300, $500, even $1,000 bill in the mail after you leave the hospital, after you paid your copay at the hospital counter before you got discharged. It's sad. It is really sad. That's how they make their money. That's why doctors will go on these extra overnight shifts at the hospital to gain that little extra money. That's why they have the nice houses. How to avoid that? To avoid it, one, if that general physician doesn't know what he is doing, you say, I do not want to see you right now. I just want to see the specialist. Just him. I don't want all this extra stuff. Unless he's consulting me. A consulting session is free. Consulting is free. If you go to a pharmacy counter, it's free. If you go to any business, you notice how it says free consultation? Lovely sentence. Free, then consultation. There's a reason for that. They want your business. A consultation is just to explain a few things. Whether it's just like, hey, I think you should do this. This is what happened. But you have to use that word. I want that specialist to consult me and I do not want to get charged. Once you say that and you get charged, you can take that bill back to them and say, hey, take this back. I say consulting in the room. I have witnesses or else I'm going to sue. Simple as that. Very easy. That's just one way to minimize. If you don't have to stay overnight or get admitted, don't. Don't. If you can wait to see your regular physician, your general practitioner at their local office, wait until then. If you go to an emergency room, you're paying even more because that's an emergency fee saying that you need help now. You can't wait. You are in front of everybody else. Ambulance rides. If you can drive there or Uber it. That hospital ambulance ride, especially if they're private ambulances, that's what's going to get you. It will. Most insurances don't cover ambulance rides, especially if it's private. Even from the city, you're still paying for it. They have to maintain your stuff somehow. They're not cheap equipment at all. The stretcher, the ambulance itself, not cheap. They have to run, so they charge you a pretty penny. But that's a great way to avoid extra bills. No ambulance rides, ask for consultations. If you can wait to see the general practitioner, wait. If you can't, and you go to the emergency room, make sure you don't get admitted unless you have to. If you have to get admitted, then obviously it's for your better health. But then as soon as that young Medicaid application lady comes around, you better apply for that Medicaid while you still can, because obviously healthcare system is changing. Medicaid is being reduced if that bill passes. Alrighty, this is the RX Saver. Like and subscribe. There's a free RX savings card in the bottom. I'll be adding a pet RX card as well as vision and dental savings cards. There's also a link to my website, the RX Saver. Go on to it. It has coupons, discount savings cards galore that you can use. It's free. There's also some books attached. Those books explain how the big farm works, the pharmaceutical companies, how the healthcare system works, how the hospital works, and I highly recommend them. So, get educated, save money. This is the RX Saver.